Hi everyone, I'm Zhena, founder and master tea blender at clubmagichour.com. I'm not sure if you've heard of senescent cells, but they are one of the key factors to aging. And if you're over 40, you might be thinking about ways to slow down the clock. Well, tea is an ancient remedy for slowing down the clock that has a lot of science behind it. And recently I've been noticing an incredible backing behind pu-erh tea, which is a double fermented tea from Yunnan, China. And I nicknamed it Sin Eraser a few years ago. And now there's science to prove that it really does erase your sins. Especially if you like sugar, fatty meals, wine, and if you're exposed to the sins of the world, AKA, pollution and all the things that cause free radicals to attack the cells. So a senescent cell is a cell that has stopped dividing, but it's not totally dead. So it's cruising around the body and it is basically trying to find a new home, and it's kind of got an identity crisis. So a senescent cell is when cells are splitting, when say you get a cut and your cells start splitting, they'll rush to that area to heal it. Now, if a cell stops splitting and it's just cruising around your body, sometimes it doesn't know where to go. So a kidney cell could end up in your stomach, or a liver cell could end up in your intestine, or a heart cell can end up, basically, you get the picture. They don't know where to go in the body. So when they start accumulating, you may find that they have an identity crisis en masse, and they can turn into disease and inflammation. And chronic inflammation does cause disease. Stress is also a form of chronic inflammation, if you can believe it or not. So China, about 6,000 years ago, we don't know how long ago exactly. I would say it could be anywhere from 6,000 to 7,000 years, 5,000 years. When China created and actually discovered Camellia sinensis, the story says that a monk found these leaves, fell into his boiling water, he drank them, and he was able to meditate. So tea has always been used for mindfulness and meditation. That's because it has not only caffeine, but it has L-theanine. Now, the Chinese have been amazing in taking the art of tea and crafting it over thousands of years for health and wellness. They use it in Chinese medicine to open the heart chakra, well, the heart channel. In India, it's the chakra. In China, it's the channel. Camellia sinensis can be formed into a lot of different teas. So Camellia sinensis turns into green tea. It's a white tea. It can be an oolong. It can be a black tea, and it can also be a pu-erh tea. So I discovered pu-erh tea about 23 years ago. And traveling in China, what I discovered were a lot of my Chinese tea suppliers and friends would eat Peking duck, or they would eat pork, which I don't eat, and they would then drink this magical tea afterward and had no issues whatsoever with digestion. Their skin looked great. I noticed my tea masters in China had no wrinkles. I started really thinking about what is happening. Tea. I started bringing over organic pu-erh tea, a loose leaf version of it, and I nicknamed it Sin Eraser. And then I trademarked it. So anyway, it's called Sin Eraser. It's my sense of humor, because when I was traveling in China, I would say, what is this magical concoction you're drinking? And they would say, pu-erh tea. And I would go, and I was like, oh, it's like your Sin Eraser. So I love pu-erh. It has changed my life. I drink it every morning. And I have also formulated it into most of our black teas at Magic Hour. So I'm the mom that snuck the veggies into the pancakes and nobody knew. I'm that mom. And I'm that tea mom that's looking out for your health. And I sneak pu-erh into most of our black tea blends, because not only is it a double fermented black tea with probiotics, and it's the base of our bestseller Bohemian Breakfast, but it's also now used and scientifically proven to help get rid of senescent, AKA zombie cells in your body. That's some pretty exciting science, and I wanted to share that with you today. So I use it as the base of Soulmate, Bohemian Breakfast, Vanilla Earl Grey, Earl Grey, Cine Racer, Rise and Shine, and most of our black teas have about 40 to 50% of the pu-erh in them. And what that does is that enables you to enjoy a cup of rich, delicious, hearty black tea, but it also has all these added health benefits. So I'm gonna get into the science behind the magic with these handy dandy research notes that are from the National Institutes of Health. Pu-erh is being used now as a supplement to help rid your body of senescent cells. And when I noticed that, I was wondering, it was in immune supplements as well as in Senescence anti-aging supplements. And I thought, what is the science and why is it being used in these supplements now? So here's the research. It's rich in polyphenolic compounds. Pu-erh tea contains various polyphenols, including catechins, theaflavins, and theorubicins. These compounds have antioxidant properties which help reduce oxidative stress. So if you think of a zombie cell, the zombie cell is basically stressed out. The borders of it are all wonky. It's like, it doesn't really know its identity. It doesn't know where to go. It doesn't know how to help the body. So it basically starts going rogue. These compounds help reduce the oxidative stress, a key factor in the aging process and the accumulation of senescent cells. So if you have a lot of oxidative stress, you're fighting off a lot of enemies of the body. So you've got free radicals trying to attack healthy cells and break them down. We all have certain strengths and weaknesses in our bodies because of genetics and what we're exposed to on a daily basis. So this is almost like a morning ritual that helps. I'm not saying it will cure, but it definitely supports and helps a healthy body. Pu-erh, the polyphenols in pu-erh also exert anti-inflammatory effects. By reducing chronic inflammation, these compounds may help mitigate the harmful effects of senescence-associated secretory phenotype, which is characterized by the secretion of inflammatory cytokines, growth factors, and proteins by senescent cells. So senescent cells don't just have an identity crisis, they actually become caustic and toxic in your body. They secrete proteins that are not healthy proteins, that are not actually, they're not loving you back. They're kind of like wonky and they start multiplying. So you want to clear those out as quickly as possible. The antioxidants in pu-erh help neutralize free radicals, reducing cellular damage and potentially slowing down the onset of senescence. The reduction in oxidative stress can contribute to the maintenance of cellular function and the prevention of premature cellular aging. It also pu-erh helps with autophagy. Autophagy. Something like that. Autophagy. AUTOPHAGY. Induction. All right, this is science, okay? Be serious, people. It basically helps delete and deplete all the bad stuff out of your body. So your body will burn bad fuel and pu-erh helps you do it. So this is a great, great tea for fasting. I have a lot of customers and tea lovers worldwide use this for fasting. So if you do intermittent fasting, which I do about a week of the month, 2 weeks out of the month sometimes, I will use pu-erh with nothing in it, either Bohemian Breakfast version that has a little added zhuzh to it, or I'll use the straight Cine Racer, and that really helps. So the EGCG, also found in pu-erh tea, inhibits the secretion of pro-inflammatory cytokines associated with senescence and can help reduce chronic inflammation and tissue damage caused by senescent cells. So the polyphenols, besides the catechins, tea contains a range of polyphenols that exhibit antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. These compounds can protect cells from damage, support DNA repair mechanisms, and reduce the incidence of cellular senescence. So here, here's the autophagy. Now I have a block. So anyway, polyphenols may stimulate autophagy. Okay, may stimulate autophagy, a process that helps remove damaged cells and cellular components. This process can also target and remove dysfunctional senescent cells, like my dysfunctional pronunciation today. Okay, I've only had 1 cup of tea today, so this is to blame. Apoptosis induction, certain components in tea, particularly EGCG, which is also very high in green tea, have been studied for their potential to induce apoptosis. Okay, I make speeches. I know how to do this. I don't know why this is, but basically this is programmed cell death. So it can help in removing damaged and dysfunctional cells. So think of Cineracer, think of pu-erh, think of tea as kind of the cleanup crew that goes into the body and gently detoxes dead and zombie cells on a daily basis without having to go to extremes. So when I say go on a detox, I'm not saying like detox, like go super extreme. You can detox a little bit every day through a mindfulness practice with tea. And so all of that. So senolytic activity. Senolytics are compounds that selectively induce the death of senescent cells. While tea is not typically classified as a senolytic, some studies suggest that compounds in tea like EGCG exhibit senolytic-like activities under certain conditions, which leads to the reduction of senescent cell burden. Senescent cells also screw up your metabolic health and contribute to metabolic dysfunction, which leads to insulin resistance, obesity, and other age-related metabolic disorders. The bioactive compounds in tea can improve your metabolic health, support glucose metabolism. When I drink coffee, I get blood sugar crashes. When I drink tea, I do not. And that is a 30-year tea blender experience. And you can enhance insulin sensitivity, indirectly reducing the burden of senescent cells by improving overall tissue health through tea. So all of that in a cup of tea. And that's really why I've dedicated my entire company and my mission and my life and all my waking hours to helping spread the word about the power of pu-erh tea and green tea and white tea for your health and well-being. This is so important that you can sip this every day and you can support yourself as you're being exposed to free radicals and toxins and you're fighting off senescent cells from within. You can really support your body's processes and love yourself with a cup of tea. So our Cineracer is available on clubmagichour.com. All these blends, it's in all of the blends. It's certified organic, which is very, very important that your pu-erh is certified organic because it's really hard to find pu-erh that is. And ours is clean, triple tested, and organic and delicious and amazing for you. So here's to your health and well-being. Goodbye, zombie cells. Ciao.